Okay, YouTube, today we're going to cover one of my favorite little time tricks. This comes to us via Jeff Tain Watts. The term for it, at least the term I know it as, is called backwards swing. I'm not exactly sure who came up with that, but that's what I know it as, so that's what you guys are going to know it as. It's called backwards swing. I originally heard it on a Branford Marsalis trio record entitled Trio GP. So it's Branford, Marsalis, Tain, and then two bass players. On the majority of the record is the late, great Milt Hinton, who just kills this record. And then also on the track is a phenomenal bass player, one of my favorite bass players, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Delbert Felix is the other bass player on the record. Phenomenal record. On the first track, it's a medium blues called Howls from Edward. And Tain is swinging along, and by halfway through the track, he flips it around. So it'll go a little bit something like this. Let's do it one more time. So briefly, all he's really doing is just shifting what sounds like that jazz ride pattern and the hi-hat on 2 and 4. He shifts it over by an eighth note. So all of a sudden the hi-hat's going to be on the end of 1 and the end of 3. And then the ride cymbal is going to be shifted over an eighth note too. And he uses a particular sticking to get him there, although I've heard him do this many other times, and then he gets away from just using that sticking. But it's a great place to start, I think. So the sticking, these are all triplets. It's just a 2-beat pattern that we loop. So the sticking pattern is left, left, right, left, right, right. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. Triplet, 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 triplet. So once you get comfortable with that, you just simply add the hi-hat on the end of 3. So there it is, a little backwards swing thing. If you got that, great. Go to your gig tonight and piss off some bass players. That will drive them nuts. But stick around if you want to kind of check out the breakdown and some little ways to get more comfortable with it. The first thing that we're going to cover in the breakdown section is how to get comfortable with that sticking and how to make it feel like you're actually shifting the time. So the first thing to do is just take that sticking pattern and essentially loop it with the hi-hat on 2 and 4. The reason we do that is, first of all, we're just getting comfortable with the sticking, and we always want to be able to relate it to the ground pulse, the real time. So using that hi-hat on 2 and 4 is going to ground us to the original pulse while we build up the sticking, and we build up just the sound of that ride cymbal kind of being shifted over. Then, after that gets comfortable, then you're going to shift that hi-hat to the end of 1 and the end of 3, so it lines up with your very first ride. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there was 2 bars with the hi-hat on 2 and 4, and then 2 bars with it moved over to the end of 1 and the end of 3. Once you feel like, okay, I got that, and I'm pretty sure I can maintain the ground pulse, then go back and forth between what really is the time and then shift over to playing off the beat. An easy way to do that is just slowly but surely acclimate your ears to stepping out like that. So 2 bars of the real time and then 2 bars of the backward swing, and then come back and forth. So that at first you don't ever get too far out there and then all of a sudden it flips around in your mind. And then from there, you play 4 bars of the real time, and then 4 bars of the backward swing, and just slowly but surely let the line out a little bit farther every time until you feel like you can kind of do it as long as you want. So a quick example of that would be this. There's a bunch of ways to resolve it. You can check out some of Tain's ways to resolve it as well. But so there it was, just 2 bars a time, flipped it around, then 4 bars a time, and you can see kind of from there you can grow until where you can just kind of do it nonstop. The last thing I want to do is give you a couple of tips that helped me. Number 1, don't fall for it. This is a rhythmic illusion. It's supposed to sound like everything's on the offbeat to the listener, but it's never supposed to sound that way to you. Like in this case, like this is an illusion, right? We're the magicians and the musicians. We're the musicians, something like that. We're the magicians. It's our magic trick. We have to actually know what's going on. We're supposed to basically make the audience's ears shift or have their head tilt sideways. So no matter what you do, make sure as you're getting comfortable with this that you never let that go, that you always know where the ground pulse is. If you don't, then it's going to get flipped around real quick. It's really hip and everybody will look back at you and smile if you do it just a little bit. If you screw it up, the smiles quickly turn to frowns. So, and then the second tip is in order to really sell the illusion, in my opinion, phrasing is what eventually creates the illusion. Just to play da 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 da, you can make that just sound like it's in 4/4. That's just a triplet pattern in 4/4. But accenting in the right spots is what all of a sudden makes this ride cymbal sound like. Just good old-fashioned swing 2 and 4. So make sure when you're practicing it, you can give the accent. I like giving the accent to what would be your first right stroke, and then your third right stroke. Because to me, that really sells the offbeat pattern. That sells that that's the pulse and that's the quarter note. The other thing you can do is you can put a little phrasing in your first 2 lefts. If you play the first one a little quieter and the second one a little louder, like that, you can kind of create this feeling of where it really does sound like a triplet. So try some of those little phrasing techniques and get real comfortable before you try it on the bandstand. But once you do, man, it's cool. Particularly if you use it just a little bit, just create a little tension and then come right back. It's just enough to kind of keep the musicians on their toes. And if you do it right, it really makes the rest of the time swing harder because you created this little tension that you eventually release. Okay, have fun with that one.